and welcome to another Waltons review. With me, I got Resolute Germ. How are you doing today, Germ?
Not too bad. How you doing, Gorilla?
Oh, I found out how hard the ground is today.
Oh, that's always fun.
Oh yeah, carrying out a big old 30-pound thing of our bucket of our junk beads and that and guess where the ice patch is? Right by the dumpster. Yeah. So, oops, I forgot to share this ahead of this thing. So, alrighty. So we so we got the typewriter here. I actually enjoyed this episode. I actually paid a lot more attention than I normally do to shows.
It started sort of weak, but it picked up.
Yeah, well, you need the backstory a little bit. So I'm gonna play the synopsis here. I'm gonna see if I can get away with the whole thing, or not the synopsis, the epilogue
Intro.
or intro, whatever they call it.
This was my world, the only kind of life I knew well enough to tell people about. I remember a day in the 1930s when I finally felt ready to show one of my stories to someone for the very first time.
Alrighty, that was a real short one there. Yeah, he has a damn good looking teacher though. For their except for the whole bun part.
Yeah, it may have been the 70s, but this was still Hollywood.
Yeah, like he had a good looking teacher. Like, why could I get a teacher that good looking? Well, we had like two maybe in my whole 12 years, maybe. Well, two.
Just
We
12
had,
years.
yeah, we only had two relatively good looking ones. So she's reading the story and correcting him on the color, like a punctuation that it tells him to take it into a magazine. Yeah, which wouldn't surprise me there. Grandma came in there. I thought she was going to actually read the story, but no, she's feeling guilty for not leaving it to him. But even though the grandpa gave him the meadow there, but she still feels like she has to give him something too. So she's going to give him all her stories. I thought we'd actually get to hear a grandma story, or at least the start of one, or at least like a
Yeah,
short
that,
one.
that would have been nice.
Yeah,
I guess next
but
time.
maybe we'll get one there eventually there. But she's just kind of lingering around. Then she says she'll leave him the stories, because she comes from a family of story writers and all that. I did get a kick though that she called it all this modernization with the cars and the radios and the this and that. She called it modernization. She'd have a heart attack if she saw what we had now.
Yeah.
But I don't even know. But that's back when the families actually sat there and talked around the table and stuff. Then John Boy goes and he's mailing it off there. And everybody comes along. You ever notice that Ben's the only one in the whole family that doesn't wear overalls of the boys? Hell, even Mary Ellen wears overalls.
Well, she is wearing John Boy's hand-me-downs.
Yeah, no, she doesn't like dresses. Because Elizabeth's in a dress, and so is what's the other one's name? Ellen or whatever the other one's name is. Like Ben and her are the two like forgettable ones in the whole family.
Well, besides for John Boy, I can't remember any of their names, so I think you're doing pretty well.
I got mostly memorized, I don't know how many times I've seen this. And then Ike Gosby, he acts so surprised that all the kids come in at one time like they do in every episode. It cost them 12 cents to ship that letter to New York there. I would have taken the 3 ounces there because like the mail service wouldn't know the difference.
Oh yeah, they would. They'll weigh
What?
that in Richmond. They'll weigh that in New York, and every little stop. If that ain't exact postage, it goes into trash or it goes back.
Wouldn't that be illegal to throw away a letter?
Now, if it doesn't have correct postage,
Yeah, but it gets sent back. I think it'd be illegal to throw a letter out, even if you are a federal employee. Then he runs into Miss Mamie and Miss Emily. They're so excited, just mailing off us. They very much say the greetings there. They're like kind of tell their story. Forgettable scene. Then apparently it's 10-6 register. Is that pretty much insurance?
yeah, that's what pretty much guarantees it gets where it's going.
Okay. Then Mary Ellen here wants a deluxe beauty set. It costs $1, which I don't know how much that is back then compared to now. I'm guessing around $20.
Something like that, probably.
Sometimes I think they just throw out money signs, just to make it sound different, because 12 cents to mail a letter, that'd be, nowadays, that'd be 60 cents or something like that. But $1 for, hell, maybe that'd be like $5 or something, whatever. So she has, I put it on hold. Oh, I wonder if I could get. And they're sitting there fussing around, getting there. I remember my grandma cut my hair one time, and she decided to clip my ear off. That's the last time I let her cut my damn hair. I used to get the old bowl head cuts from my grandma. They're snipping there. He wants to dye. He wants to braid his hair. They're going back and forth arguing. There. And his mom's proud of him. There. Talking about it. And apparently his dad comes home. And they got to go load up the lumber. And then his dad tells him, ask him if he wants to, ask him what he writes about. It's most of the family and all that. I don't know. Would that be interesting to read a story about a family in modern times, just like them? Like, this is kind of interesting, it being in the 30s, And when this first aired, it was in the 70s, But I don't know if I'd want to read about a family nowadays, like in the same era I'm living in. If it's past life, it's one thing, but nowadays, I don't think it'd be as interesting. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and it definitely wouldn't be interesting reading about some randos.
Yeah. And John Boy comes in. They're listening to a story on there. Asking has a letter there that I got. He tells him off. He's in there twice a day asking for the damn letter. Then they're sitting there talking about it, and he says he can't sleep without her. It's like, just think the biggest heathen in the county, and the girl from something about the First Baptist Church, and they're getting together, is bound to have something. So they're proud of John Boy for mailing off the letter. Coax her in the bed. Here the letter comes, and he won't even read it in front of Ike. Like, Ike there's all disappointed in that. He wants to read it home. And that's when they said they have to have it typed out. So Grandpa asked him to come upstairs to help him with something heavy. So he goes through the old Post-it notes there. And they found one that was typed out that it turned out to be Judge Baldwin, the Mamie sisters there. Now, here's the thing though. They did not want to loan it out to John Boy because that's one of their most prized possessions right there. It's the typewriter. You know, they did not want to give away until, well, they let borrow it just because he mentioned the recipe in the story, which I think John Boy knew that would get him. I think he was saving that to sweet talk him. Or that was the last resort. Which one do you think it was? He was saving it to butter him up and sweet talk him? Or is the last resort effort to get him the loan and the typewriter?
Same difference.
Mm-hmm. So they loaned to him. But here's the thing. Why did they could have totally compromised? Well, can I just type it here? You know, then his mom wouldn't have to know he was over there. But they actually let him take it there. You know, that way it's always in their sights, and they could actually see their father's typewriter at work creating another great author. You know, and then he doesn't have to worry about losing it or nothing, or damaging it, except for working on it, maybe potentially damaging it. Okay, so yeah, last scene was kind of long. So he hides it in the tool shed that we rarely ever see. And for some reason, Reckless is just barking up there. So Grandpa comes and sees what the noise is. They find the typewriter, so he moves all the tools out so John Boy can have some peace and quiet. You know, it's really nice how supportive the whole family is of this. You know, except he has to hide it because he borrowed it from the Baldwins, the bootleggers. But it seems like Grandpa's the most supportive, and he's just not going to mention the damn thing. I kind of wish we had subtitles though, but this will show you.
Grandpa's good at the whole keeping his mouth shut thing.
Yeah, because he wants leverage later. As we learned in that one episode, the carnival. Yeah, so then they're at the table. I don't remember that scene much, but John Boy cleans it out. He's hiding it on the bottom shelf there. That. Oh yeah. Now they're talking. They're giving him crap about being a writer and stuff. He types out, shows it to his teacher. You know, they have to come. Then, okay. Then, I don't know. Okay. I don't know what the hell Mary Ellen's doing, but they're talking about the apples, you know, they'll store them in the tool shed, and then she can sell them like Godspeed to get her beauty kit and that. Which I'm kind of surprised that mom's was gonna support her, like help her get the money to buy a beauty kit. That kind of surprised me. But anyhow, so we know what's gonna happen then. Then she finds the typewriter and that.
Yeah, Thursday episode became pretty much paint by numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, so she gets out to start cleaning the tool shed there. Then he's bailing it off, and Ike tells him, "Do me a favor. Do not come in here twice a day asking if you got it. The President of the United States trusts me." Oh, that's a line earlier that I couldn't remember. The President of the United States trusts me with the mail, but not your own grandson. That's when Grandpa and Ike were listening to the radio. I mean, John Boy was in there earlier. But now he doesn't want him coming in there twice a day asking for it. He'll get it when he gets it. And finding the junk man there, she sells it to that guy there. The John Boy comes home. He discovers it's gone. He just starts flipping out on the whole family there. Mary Ellen there. She just got that. When she came in, what's wrong? He goes, the typewriter's gone. It's in the old tool shed. The typewriter? Oh man, he just flipped out on her about that.
Yeah.
Well,
if she knew it was in there, she would have drove the price up to $3.
Well, no. Like, why did she get her mom's permission to sell that shit beforehand, you know? Because if she knows it's a typewriter, she wouldn't have sold it because, or if she would ask her mom's seen the typewriter, you know. John Boy's been looking for something like this, you know. No, Elden will take was asking or even looking. And I don't think she would have sold the typewriter if she knew what was in there. She didn't even look. She just grabbed the box and sold it to him for $1 so she could get her beauty kit. So John Boy and John go out to go track down the junkman there. They stop at Ike's there. Now, this small of a town, I find it this small of a county, I find it hard to believe that the sheriff did not know where that Jake the Junkman lived. Like, I can tell you where a lot of people lived. You ask me a name, and I go, oh, hey, they live up yonder there, or they live over down that street, you know. I kind of find it hard to believe that neither Ike nor the sheriff knew where he lived.
He probably lives out of the county. They know every last bit of that county like the back of their hand, but step 1 foot out of their jurisdiction, they're lost.
Maybe. So then they track him down to they go start searching taverns. And they run into him, but he sold it to another junkman who travels all over the country. So, okay. So they come back and they sold it. And John Boy's all disappointed. He has to figure out what to do. So Mary Ellen starts. So he goes to tell the Baldwin sisters. This is where Sheriff Briggs comes in. You know, it's awfully nice of him to drive her to Charlottesville. And they go all over the place looking for that damn thing. She put a lot of effort into looking for that thing. But, you know, that'd be kind of interesting to do is like on something like stuff like that, you know, tracking it down, see how many hands stuff like that passed through. Because that typewriter wrote a letter to Woodrow Wilson and all that stuff. That thing has a fucking history. It could probably sold for $100.
To be fair, there's a lot of typewriters that wrote to Woodrow Wilson. Mainly hate mail.
Oh, okay.
He got tons and tons of hate mail. He was a jackass.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like how to fix the League of Nations or something like that. So yeah, they're tracking this thing down all over the county. And, you know, Miss Mamie and Miss Emily took it fairly well there. At first they didn't quite hear him, then they heard it. I wonder if I could get. I'm gonna play a little bit of this. Oh, whoops!
I've lost it.
Oh, just the look on their faces here.
Cousin Elvira was peculiar too. Remember, they used to have all those bats in the house, and they used to run up and down the upstairs hall at night, batting at them with tennis rackets.
I started this little dude. But here now she had the sudden realization where she had it.
I think you missed
John
it too.
Boy, what?
No, it's right here.
No, I think you missed the joke.
What was that?
Cousin Elvira and bats.
Yeah, I guess that went over my head. Do you want to explain it to me? I guess I missed it.
Do you not know who Elvira is?
No.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, hey, Bubblehead Jack. Do you know what that means? And I don't.
Bobblehead?
Bubblehead. He says, and I don't.
I don't think he gets the Elvira thing either.
No, that's that. No, that was 8 minutes ago.
No, that's quite a while ago.
Yeah, I've been on the other screen there. Yeah, so who's Elvira?
Late night TV movie hosts. Real big tits. B movies.
Oh, okay.
Just look up Elvira.
Okay, I will after the stream. Yeah, then here's the look there.
I lost it.
You've lost what?
Oh, they don't even get it yet.
The typewriter.
You can tell just in his voice there how disappointed he is in that whole thing. And just a look there, she's giving him the look. And she's the one.
Got sold to
Yeah, she's just heavily. You can tell her heart's just broken in that.
with junkman.
Yeah.
Frequently, people only own treasures for just a short time. This has been the case for some of the world's great paintings.
Yes, with jewels too. The Star of Africa diamond has had a good many owners down through the years.
They're taking this quite well. What do you think?
Yeah, they're not prone to anger. So
Yeah, well, nowadays, or
they're still
even
doing pretty good.
well, nowadays, people would either be freaking out or they'd have a big old huge tantrum about it being missing. You know, versus they're disappointed, but they're not putting a guilt trip on him, and they're not yelling and screaming or breaking down. Well, they break down a little bit, but
To a
Oh no,
junkman.
that's not in their nature. Too
My
much
sister
recipe
Mary
in their
Ellen,
blood.
she didn't
yeah. I'll play a little bit more of this interaction. It's really good interaction.
know she was doing it.
Now, Anne, we must be brave.
I'm trying, sister, but it's like losing a bit of Papa all over again.
Well, we'll take action. We'll find this junk man and we'll buy Papa's typewriter back from him.
Oh,
You know, that's a good reaction. They said, we'll just buy it back for them, you know. Spend their own money. They must have a load of cash or something.
Oh yeah,
No, I guess being
they're
the only
bootleggers.
Yeah.
tried that, and he's already sold it to another junkman. I tried everything, and I'm just so upset about it because I know what it means to both of you. Just didn't live up to my promise.
He knows how to do that sad acting, you know, because he does that quite a bit. That's that disappointed
it's
acting.
bread and butter.
Yeah. Every actor has its own talents there, and that's where he's good at showing like the sad emotion.
I wanted to take care of it, and I didn't.
You know, they're crying. They just pretty much say they have other possessions to remember and buy. That's pretty much the gist of that whole scene there. So then they get back here. They're telling the story. Apparently, there was an earthquake in L.A. Good place for it to happen, in my opinion. But 100 people dead. $4 million in damages. What'd that be today?
I'd say at least a few billion.
Yeah. You know, they're gonna pray for him. There. They feels bad they flipped out on Mary Ellen. So he goes all over the place looking for her. Apparently he got the letter from Ike. He opens it, but he doesn't tell Ike about it. But he keeps going looking for her. Apparently she came home. And there's the typewriter. Yeah, apparently she owes Sheriff Briggs $6. They managed to track it down to an antique shop, and she owes him Sheriff Briggs like $6 still. So they're all forgiven. They hug and stuff.
Awful nice of the sheriff to drive her all around like that and front $6 for a typewriter that he had no real connection to.
Yeah, it was awfully nice of him. Maybe he'll get a couple jars of the recipe as a thank you.
Yeah, and well,
I
was more
guarantee
thinking
you-
that he must owe John a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Baldwin sisters hooked him up with a couple jars of the recipe as a thank you for getting Grandpa's typewriter back. But apparently he got a rejection letter. What the hell is that supposed to mean? He goes, their story, but it just not fit what they're looking for at the moment. Does that mean they liked it or what?
That's a form letter.
A what?
Form letter.
Oh, basically copy and paste.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but fuck you. We don't want your stuff. Oh well, the
Pretty
whole
much.
family. Alrighty, I'm gonna just play it out here.
Family managed to turn my first rejection slip into some sort of victory. I started typing again that evening, and I've been typing stories ever since. But no typewriter ever came to mean as much to me as that old machine I borrowed from Miss Mamie and Miss Emily Baldwin.
All right, then it's just nights out. Good night. Good night. Stop typing. Turn the damn lights off. Blah blah blah. So what'd you think?
As far as the Waltons go, it was. Well, at the end, it got quite good. The earlier parts really sort of dragged.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 just for the slow start. But overall,
I'd
it's
probably
pretty.
go 7.
The what?
I'd probably go with the 7.
Okay. So, yeah, overall, I liked the episode. It was really good. Good there. I was actually paying. I wasn't trying to make supper while I was watching it. You know, I actually started paying a full list of it. Started paying attention there. Oh, I remember this next one. Our next episode's the star. That so a summary of next week's episode is a meteorite crashes through the roof of the Baldwin sisters' recipe room, which they take as some kind of sign from their dead papa, Grandpa Walton, which takes it as a sign of his impending death. Ben takes it as a sign he will win the 4th grade spelling bee. A cousin, Paulinus Baldwin, at first plans to exploit the meteorite for financial gain, then tries to steal their recipe machine. So that's next week.
Which I may or may not be available for.
Okay, just let me know if we need to. We can reschedule.
Yeah, because starting next week with the new year, I am essentially on call for overtime.
Okay. Alrighty. So, let's see. So that's it for our Waltons review. Let's see if I'm gonna check to see if this Bubblehead Jack has a channel.
That picture looks familiar.
Oh, he might have been around for a while. So yeah, it looks like he has a few videos on there.
Yeah.
They're a funny commercial parody of my apartment. So it looks like he writes songs in that or something. So make sure to check him out. He has a couple videos on his channel there. You want to plug yourself, Germ?
Yeah, Saturday morning cartoons, 8 a.m. every Saturday morning, and more cartoon content coming into the new year.
Alrighty. The next stream will be. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow off and on, maybe. I'll do my karaoke one tomorrow night. If it's only me, then I'll just sing my one song that I promised to sing, which is there. But I might do a random thoughts with Gorilla in the morning when I wake up because I got nothing better to do with my day. So then we'll have Saturday Babylon. Oh, there might not be a stream on Saturday. I think our family's having a get together. Not Saturday. My parents are coming down.
Oh, that's nice. And
But
pop culture.
And hail pop culture, welcome. We're just wrapping up things here. There, we just finished reviewing the episode there. But yeah, check out Pop Culture Curator. I'm telling we do Star Trek the Animated Series there on Mondays there at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. We do a really long, in-depth review there. A lot more in-depth than what we do here. Then on Tuesday, he's on Anti-Derivative Jill's channel, where they review Star Trek the Original Series. Then on Wednesdays at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, we do Gilligan's Island reviews. But with that, you guys have a good night. Remember to be a gorilla.